Welcome to Tonight Live. I'm Paisley Beebe. Tonight Live is brought to you by Styles of Edo, top brand for men's formal fashion. And Azul, when Second Life's leading ladies want style, quality and elegance, they look no further than the stunning designs of Azul. Later on tonight's show, we're going to hear a performance from musician Bara Johnson. Bara is the Second Life musician from Sweden, featured in the new HBO documentary, When Strangers Click. That will be premiered on the HBO network in the States on the 14th of February, Valentine's Day. Bara is a very well-respected and loved musician here who has found fame and love through Second Life. And once this documentary is shown, we'll undoubtedly find a lot more fame. We also talked to the documentary's director, Robert Kenner, who is also the director of Food Inc. and many other award-winning documentaries. For this documentary, Robert Kenner interviewed 5 subjects about their experiences with finding love online. On tonight's show, we also meet our resident in the spotlight this week, the owner of the True Blood Sim and True Blood Royal Ballroom, Enoch Mildor. But first, Gracie Kendall was on Tonight Live some time back, talking about her real-life art and how she was bringing it into Second Life. Well, since that time, she's been working on the Gracie Kendall Project, where she designed a project working towards morphing her real-life look with her Second Life avatar. Most recently, she's also been working on the 1000 Avatar Project, where she's been taking photos from the back perspective of avatars in Second Life. She's gone way past her initial goal of 100 avatars and has now reached her second goal of 1,000 avatars. But she's going to continue on with her project. What has she learnt about her avatars? What have her subjects learned? And what has she learnt about herself? Welcome to Tonight Live, Gracie.
Oh, thank you very much, Paisley. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you on again. Now, what got you started on these last 2 projects?
Well, I've always been interested in the idea of identity. As an art historian, I've studied artists, contemporary real-life artists that have, been concerned with identity also, with changing, transforming, masquerade. And so just the idea of what an avatar represents and how we can be anything you want, I think has always held something within me. And especially as pertains to my real life, I just like the idea that, like I said, we can be anything you want.
Why did you decide that you wanted to morph your real life appearance into your Gracie Kendall appearance?
Oh gosh. Well, that started as my master's thesis in studio art. I originally was going for my master's degree in painting, and I told my painting professor about Second Life, and she loved it. She loved the idea of what it could be. And she started asking me questions about my avatar, and I started researching about self-portraiture, and I started thinking about Gracie as my self-portrait, as this creation that I've created. And then I started questioning, why did I create Gracie the way she is? Why is she thin and I'm overweight in real life, and so forth? So I started really thinking about that. And then my professor started asking me more personal questions, and I really started delving deeper inside about the psychology of why I'm Gracie. And as I was journaling and, taking a lot of notes, my professor's like, you need to write this down. You need to talk about this. And so I think, all of a sudden it was there.
So what have you found since you've completed that first project? Have you found that your avatar is now more like your real life self and your real life self is more like your avatar? Have you gone back to what you both were at the beginning of that project?
Actually, no. I did transform. That was part of my thesis, was transforming, actually changing physically into Gracie. And at the end of the performance, I did a video on it. I realized I was looking for more of a balance between the two of us, which I thought I had. This was last March. Since then, I've graduated. And since then, I've gained like the last, the college 10, 15, 20 pounds at least. And I realized that I'm farther away from that as anything. So I'm actually going to start the Gracie Kindle Project Part 2 and work towards that more physically using even newer technology than I had before.
So just for folks that don't know about that first project, Gracie dyed her hair platinum blonde. She got a nose ring. You didn't get the tat, did you? I can't remember if you got the tattoo.
No, Gracie actually doesn't have any tattoos, even though I do in real life. So, yeah, which is really, I think, interesting.
Very interesting, yeah. Wow, that is interesting. Now, on to the 1,000 Avatar project, which started off with 100. Why, when you got to 100, did you keep going? Was it fun? Were you learning something?
Oh, absolutely. I've been having a blast through the whole process. When I got to 100 on that specific day, I think I had 10 or 15 more avatars waiting for their portraits to be taken and asking me to be part of the project. And so I was thinking there's no way I could stop at 100. And so a friend suggested, well, just go on for 1,000. It's a nice round number. So I'm like, okay, why not?
Did you think when that person said that was a crazy number, that you'd never get to that number?
No, actually, no. I knew because there's thousands of avatars here, hundreds of thousands. And so I knew it was definitely attainable. Now, somebody mentioned 10,000, and that's a little scary. So,
how did people find out about the project, Gracie?
Originally, I had asked my friends. I had decided to do the project, and I just went down my friends list and I asked, all of my friends who I thought would want to be part of the project. And I sent notices to all the art groups. And then Torley Linden had actually come and seen the project, and I was offline, and he's like, "This is really a beautiful project. You need to get it on the destination guide." And so it was like, I was like, well, I don't know. And I hemmed and hawed for 2 or 3 weeks. And finally, I'm like, well, why not? I put it on the destination guide, and it was like a flood of people. It was amazing. It just,
you get a lot of newbies coming along?
Some, yeah. It was, they didn't quite understand the project, I don't think. They have more questions about it than anything, but yeah, definitely a lot of newbies.
So explain to us the process. All the avatars are photographed from the back. Why did you decide to do that rather than the front?
Well, I actually do take front and back portraits, but the original idea was about anonymity. I started questioning whether it really matters if we know who's on the other side of the computer, I don't really know you in person, but I know you through Second Life. And I was starting to think, does that really matter? So the idea of taking the pictures from the back had to do with hiding the face, kind of being unrecognizable. So it was more symbolic than anything, but I started to do it, and it seemed right. And so even though I have the front portraits, I started to put the backs on the wall. And I think it just is more interesting.
Interesting. When I went to go and have a look at it, I recognized heaps of people there from the back.
Yeah. And a lot of my friends have said the same thing. And I think so in that case, it's more symbolic, than anything of anonymity.
Well, Crap Mariner just in the chat also mentioned that you're having these made up in real life. So you're printing them off to quite a large size for people that want to buy the real life copy, and then they can have them. How are you doing that process? Because when I had a look on your website, they're really quite large prints. Are you taking them off to a photography shop and getting them done? Must cost a fair bit of money.
Well, right now, I'm having them printed at 8x12s, and those are for people that want to buy their own prints. And those aren't that expensive. And the largest I can get for a cheaper price is 20x30 inches, which is the same price or the same size as the portraits that I did for my other project. I am going to be looking for grants and looking for other ways of getting money to actually have them printed out at 6x6 to 7 feet, because my eventual goal is to have them life size. I think it would be amazing to have a real life gallery show with these avatars, these life size prints of these avatars. But it is expensive.
Gracie, what have you learnt through the 1000 Avatar project about us and our avatars? What's the most important thing that's come out of it for you?
Oh gosh, I think the idea of diversity and, how we represent ourselves in such this diverse way, but yet we're all equal. I've met so many amazing people that have come and had their portraits taken. And dragons to tinies to furries to vampires to humans to, even the handicapped. And we're all the same. And Second Life lets us be the same. And I think that's the amazing part of it.
What do you mean the same? Obviously, it's not the same looking, but...
No, but I think we all have a basic idea that that we can... How do I want to say that? That we know that that you can be anything you want. I think the idea that each one of us knows we can be anything and we select what we want to be. So that kind of levels the playing field, maybe. And so
a level of acceptance is what you're saying. So that if somebody does show up looking like the most unusual avatar you've ever seen, there's a level of acceptance. People... Although, having said that, Gracie, there are still a lot of people that have judgmental attitudes towards avatars. Like if somebody's looking their boobs are too big or whatever. Sometimes...
No, I totally, because people have said that about newbies. Of course, some people are still a little judgmental about noobs. And I've had avatars that have come in with like double Z breasts. And, and I actually, I haven't asked them, I've been curious, but I haven't asked them why they do it. Somebody pointed me to one of their blogs that said that because they can. Because they are small-breasted in real life, and it gives them, even though it's, I think it's too outrageous, but that's just me. But I think that as far as acceptance, I wish that more people in real life would be like this. When we're all born, we're all on a level playing field. And it's when we get older and grow up and we learn from society around us that we get more judgmental and stereotypical and stuff. So I think Second Life, I wish more people in real life would be like the people in Second Life as far as that's concerned.
Was there anybody that presented to you an avatar that you didn't want to take a picture of? Is there any line that you won't cross?
Never. I've said I'll take a picture of anybody and everybody. Unfortunately, the only avatars that I can't take pictures of are the very, very large ones. I have a special studio and special lighting and a special background that won't allow for the large dragons or, I think the dragons are the only ones, but people with small dragons have come in. But, I believe that's just part of SL, and I don't want to just, exclude anybody. I don't want to discriminate.
Great. So, Gracie, people can follow your project on your website, and your website address will be going up on screen because I know you're doing daily blog posts, and of course they can go over to the studio, and it sounds like you're going to be going with this a little while longer.
Yeah. I have 1,261 portraits as of now. My goal right now is 2,000. It'll probably take me a couple more months to get 2,000. After that, I don't know. With most of my art, whether it's painting, whether it's any project, I'll know when I'm finished. And it's all about spontaneity and stuff like that. So.
And what are you going to do with them eventually? I mean, will you make a book or a magazine out of them, do you think?
Yes, I'm definitely planning on publishing a book of the first 1,000 avatars. In fact, I'm already looking at that. I don't know if I'm going to self-publish it or go through a publisher. I'm also, again, like you had mentioned, going to print them in real life. As far as Second Life goes, I'm probably going to have shows with them around Second Life. And I had actually thought of splitting them into themes, like do a show of all dragons or do a show of all children's. But then I realized that takes away from what the whole project is about, which is also about diversity. So I decided to keep them all together or to, just do 20, random pictures.
Sorry, I'm just laughing at a comment that Crap made about a few
no.
nude avatars with oversized
he'd like to see that,
images.
I'm sure.
Yes. Thank you so much, Gracie, for coming back on the show again and to talk to us about these two wonderful projects that you've been doing. You've certainly been giving a lot of joy to a lot of people.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure being here.
Up next, our resident spotlight featuring Enoch Mildor from True Blood.
Learn Spanish at Instituto Español, the Second Life leaders in Spanish language education. Nat's Jazz Club and Village, the place for classic jazz and blues, good people in an elegant and friendly atmosphere, and great music at Nat's Jazz Club, where you'll always find jazz for the sophisticated listener. The top brand in men's formal fashion, Styles of Edo. Moria Style has everything a fashionable woman needs to be glamorous, elegant, and stylish. When Second Life's leading ladies want style, quality, and elegance, they look no further than the stunning designs of Azul. Moonshiner's Daughter, where friends come to meet and to meet new friends.
Our resident spotlight this week features Enoch Mildor, owner of the True Blood Sim, to talk about the opening of the new True Blood Royal Ballroom. Welcome to Tonight Live, Enoch.
Thank you, Paisley. It's a pleasure to be here.
Enoch, what makes this club so special?
Well, two things really. The first one is actually a person called Gigi Jasper. She's actually a live performer in Second Life, and the reason that this place has actually been built, she's helped me out so much since I've been in Second Life, and because she is a performer, we just thought as a sim that we'll do something for her to actually bring her into the sim, something that she can do there and just be a part of everything. The second thing is obviously...
Can I just interrupt you then, Enoch, and ask, is she a singer when you say she's a performer?
She is, yes. She does like jazz tunes, and she's got the purest voice I have ever heard in Second Life for any female artist.
I'll have to go and check her out for sure. Always like to hear about your talent. Continue on.
Yes. And the second reason, obviously, we are the True Blood Sim. We haven't actually got it in place yet because we're still getting in place the role players on the sim. But what we are going to do for everyone who comes to the sim and to the ballroom, we're going to get it where they can actually dance with their favourite character from the TV show True Blood. There's a lady called Suki who has a store on our sim, and she's made avatars that are very, very close to the actual real person. So they can be like dancing with the real person at the ballroom, which will make it extra special for them when they come out and listen to the artists that we actually have there.
Great. Kind of like Vampire Disneyland.
Yes, with no bite rule.
And you have other music nights on there as well. You've got open mic?
We do, yes. We run the open mic once a week, and that's free for anyone in Second Life to come to. Most of the time, it just ends up where I've been up there because people are too shy to get up and sing in Second Life, but it's karaoke at the end of the day, so I think everyone should at least try it once.
And you've got a big charity event coming up.
That's actually just gone.
Just missed it.
Yes. That was actually called Adopt a Family for Christmas, and Sweetie Sands, who has become a good friend since sending me a note card, was actually one of the main organisers of this. It was actually held on the sim, and what it's for families in the UK who just haven't got much at Christmas and that aren't very fortunate to be able to afford the things that people like us can. So what they're doing over 12 months of the year, they're going to have these events where they raffle stuff off, and everything that's made during the year will go to these families at the end of the year.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for being a guest on Tonight Live, Enoch. And if people want to find your sim in Second Life, they do a search for True Blood?
That's right, yes.
Or have a look at your profile?
Yes.
And they'll find the ballroom. What nights do you have live music on there?
We have the music on a Monday, Thursday, Friday and a Sunday. The other 3 days of the week, we actually have live DJs playing in the ballroom. And it's basically your love songs and soft smoochy dancing music. So these couples in Second Life just can come along and have a nice romantic dance together. And
you wanted to thank a few people?
Yes, there's been people on the sim that have been almost ever present and helping me out through the time that I've been there, which has only been a short time, really. But the first one is Iria. She was the first one there, and she helped me out a lot. And then there's Daisy and Elizabeth. They both have 2 stores on the sim, and they've helped me out tremendously with the organising of events, the builds, and just being there for support. And finally, the last one to come along was Ellie, and she is constantly at my side, and it's like having your own personal PA, and I don't know what I'd do without her because she's been absolutely fantastic.
Thank you so much, Enoch. And I look forward to hearing your performer, whose name is, what was her name again?
Gigi Jasper.
Gigi Jasper, great name. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
If you'd like to feature on Tonight Live as a resident in the spotlight, please contact Bliss Windlow after the show. Next up, Bara Johnson, playing live for us here on Tonight Live.
Learn Spanish at Instituto Español, the Second Life leaders in Spanish language education. Nat's Jazz Club and Village, the place for classic jazz and blues. Good people in an elegant and friendly atmosphere, and great music at Nat's Jazz Club, where you'll always find jazz for the sophisticated listener. The top brand in men's formal fashion, Styles of Edo. Moria Style has everything a fashionable woman needs to be glamorous, elegant, and stylish. When Second Life's leading ladies want style, quality, and elegance, they look no further than the stunning designs of Azul. Moonshiner's Daughter, where friends come to meet and to meet new friends.
Bara Johnson left his job, moved to a tiny island in Sweden, and found fame and love online in Second Life. Through meeting a music producer in Second Life, he travelled to New York to record, and also met his Second Life partner finally in real life. He is one of the people featured in a new HBO documentary, When Strangers Click. Let's first find out why Bara Johnson was noticed in Second Life by a real-life record producer. Please welcome to the Tonight Live stage, Bara Johnson, singing his tune, With You.
Recognize the look in your eyes as if it was my own. The way your smile seems to fade away as a memory makes itself known. Like a vision of something deep inside that keeps it sliding away. You try to put your finger on it, 'cause all you want is to make it stay with you. With you. Listening to the same old song that's been there all your life. You're so happy when it's playing, but you have no reason why. The voice you hear seems from a friend, but the words still make no sense. You try so hard to remember, but all you see is a stranger's face with you. With you. I will walk 1,000 miles, I'll sail across the sea. I will make them change 1,000 laws if they keep you away from me. I will travel to the moon and back just to be there when you're sad. That's what I'll do. I will walk 1,000 miles, I'll sail across the sea. I will make them change 1,000 laws if they keep you away from me. I will travel to the moon and back just to be there when you're sad. That's what I'll do, 'cause I'm your dad. Thank you so much.
Learn Spanish at Instituto Español, the Second Life leaders in Spanish language education. Nat's Jazz Club and Village, the place for classic jazz and blues, good people in an elegant and friendly atmosphere, and great music at Nat's Jazz Club, where you'll always find jazz for the sophisticated listener. The top brand in men's formal fashion, Styles of Edo. Moria Style has everything a fashionable woman needs to be glamorous, elegant, and stylish. When Second Life's leading ladies want style, quality, and elegance, they look no further than the stunning designs of Azul. Moonshiner's Daughter, where friends come to meet and to meet new friends.
Welcome to Tonight Live, Bara and Robert.
Thank you so much. Nice to be here.
It's great to be here.
Thank you. Bara, but first, before we start the interview, tell us about that song. It was absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you so much. It's an original song. I call it With You. And I wrote it this August. I received a video that was showing my son listening to a recording that I have done. And he looked so thoughtful and so sad on the video that with my father's instinct, of course, I knew that he was missing me so much.
Oh.
And the fact I haven't seen him since January 2010, I wrote this song with that in mind. And so this is a song directed to my son Christopher, and I really wanted to
How old is he
him to
now?
remember me. And now I'm here in the United States, and yeah.
How old is your son now?
He's 18 months.
Okay, all right. Well,
He's
before
18 months.
we go into the interview, we're going to show a short clip from the documentary, and it's self-explanatory, really. So, Texas, could we run the video, please? And everybody can switch on their video buttons.
Just one. I always want to play in front of a live audience. And I can do that in Second Life, even though they are not present in person, but they are present virtually. Hello there. You know, it's great to see you all here. My name is Bara Johnson, and welcome to my new bar. I managed to put a bar together. So, but you know, from the start, there not a lot of people coming in. I was still new to Second Life. I'd just been there about 2 months. And then it gradually started to getting more and more people there. Almost like a real-life bar. I never once been here before. I didn't even believe it for sure. Now I do. Meeting you. All the avatars here listening would actually be a human being somewhere around the world. This is real time. This is now. Ooh, far and away, you're always on my mind. Far and away, it really feels live, even though I'm at home in the kitchen. Baby, oh, I just can't see you close, but you're not here. Do we really know for sure it's here we wanna go, far and away?
So, Bara, you're a long way from your kitchen in Sweden. You sound like Alice falling through the rabbit hole.
I think I know how Alice felt, because it's a brand new world, brand new rules. The point is to be living a second life, where you have no boundaries like in first life.
Robert, can I ask you first, why did you choose this topic for this documentary?
Well, first of all, Paisley, it's a real treat to be here tonight. I've not hung out in Second Life ever before, except for filming with Bara. So it's all very exciting and brand new for me. I chose this because I wanted to talk about how people are now meeting online, and at the same time, really, on a deeper level, talk about how society is really changing with the computer and the internet. Not necessarily in a good or bad way, but it's really being transformed. And this, through a number of different stories, this was a chance to talk about that.
Did you have any experience with this yourself?
No, I've had none. I'm somewhat of a technophobe who I've been married for a long time, so I have not dated while the internet's been in existence. So this was all brand new for me.
And Robert, I noticed during the entire documentary, you don't seem to be really showing your opinion on all of this, or it's really like someone standing back and just presenting the audience with some stories about people that met online. Was that your intention?
Yeah, I really don't like to comment heavily because I think, in a sense, your characters start to tell the story. I did a few films ago, which is telling about two different events through the eyes of all these different people. And I think you can see the world in a much more interesting way if you have wonderful, interesting, articulate characters speaking about their experience. It opens up the world to people. And I have to say, after screening this film for the first time in New York at HBO headquarters, people all went, "Oh my God." But I don't think they thought it was a good thing or a bad thing. They were just shocked at how the world has changed. Or people had lots of different opinions, and it was really fun to be part of that conversation. But I didn't want to lay my trip on, and I'm not even sure what my opinion would be.
When you said you showed it to a bunch of people and they were shocked, did you have a mixed age group there? Were these generally people over the age of 30?
Yeah, they were. It was a mixed group. Generally, they were over the age of 30, 40, 50. But what I think is really interesting is whenever you talk about dating online, everyone always takes you aside and says, "Oh, I have a story for you," as if they're the only ones who have that story. And yet everyone comes up and tells me the same thing. Boy, I have a story that would be incredible. And it's just amazing, as if it's their own little secret. And it's so interesting for me. It's a brand new world for me.
What did you think before you did this? Did you have an opinion on it before you did this?
Yeah, I didn't. I couldn't imagine. I'm rather dyslexic, so I can't imagine how I would meet people online. I can't spell, and I tend to like to talk more.
We do have Skype now, Robbie.
Thanks. It's all brand new for me, but it's all very exciting. So, but I wasn't. I was really more curious than judgmental.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You've got 5 different people that you've featured, and it's actually 5 stories because there's more than 5 people in the in the story. How did you select those 5 people?
Well, when you see the stories, you'll totally understand. These are incredible stories, and they really jump out at you. Sometimes, we wanted a mixture of different stories that represent this whole experience. There are things that we didn't get in there. We didn't get, I know of different 80-year-olds who are meeting their partners online and their lives are changing, and I thought that would have been a very interesting story to have included. There are numbers of stories I would have liked to have included if I had found a shocking, surprising, entertaining way of telling it. So I think the first rule was these stories have to be really surprising, really interesting, and ultimately help give you a broad view of this transformation that's taking place in our lives.
So what was it for you about Bara's story, without giving the game away, because we don't want to be a spoiler here, that made his story particularly surprising or interesting for you?
Well, it was incredible. I mean, to enter the world of Second Life and to see the trip that Bara has gone on was just mesmerizing. And one of the things that made it work so well was how much we like Bara as a character, so that we're seeing the world through his eyes and through others in the story whose names I won't even mention. But the fact that we like Bara so much, we get led into this story. And I think it's really a big surprise for people who don't know Second Life. It's really intriguing. It's mesmerizing. And I know as a filmmaker, I had a hard time wanting to stop shooting. It was an incredible experience to be filming in Second Life. Not necessarily simple, but just gorgeous. And it was really seductive.
I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a little while. Also, Bara, how did you find out about being included in this film, and did you have any reservations about your privacy and the entire world seeing this new relationship of yours and what it meant to you?
Well, for me, it started with a good friend in Second Life who thought I should send my story into Robert Kenner, which I did. And I got a call back from them, I think within an hour, asking me if I wanted to be in this movie. And I was thrilled. Of course, I wanted to do that. And when it comes to my private life, I had already taken that decision basically a year earlier, when one of the major Swedish newspapers asked me to do my story, and they wanted that, they actually demanded that I would go public with my name if they could do that. So the decision to go public was made already then.
Did they find out about that story, Bara, through your music?
They found out because I did. I was in the inauguration of official sim area in Second Life that was owned and run by the city I was living in real life, and I was in the opening there, for this sim, and of course the city's newspaper was there, and they called me afterward and wanted to know more.
Bara, your mom was a little apprehensive, I think, at one point about our intentions.
Yes, of course. She wants, for her own sake and mostly for my sake, that this is a serious film. And we all know that there is a lot of films made of Second Life, and not every one of those are directly serious.
And then they don't show Second Life
job,
in a
Robert,
great
convincing
light.
her and me.
But your mother,
Exactly,
in fact,
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, Robert and Bara, I thought the inclusion of Bara's mother in the film was absolutely delightful.
Well, Bara's mother is absolutely delightful.
Thank you.
And I have to say that we made the film, and it's really important that she really likes it, because she's a fabulous lady. And I think it's great that a lady of her age is very much part of Second Life, and it makes everyone, when we screened it, Bara, I think people just were cheering your mom, so it's just fabulous.
I thought she was just gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
Has she seen it back, Bara, the film, and what does she think of it now that she's had a look at it, if she has?
She has not seen it yet. I'm in United States and she's still in Sweden, so she has not been able to see it yet.
Well, I hope she enjoys it. I certainly enjoyed seeing her and her reaction to you and your relationship as well. Bara, when you found out that you were going to New York to record this album after meeting the producer here in Second Life, and you were going to meet your partner in real life, and this comes up in the story, how did you feel about that? How nervous were you about doing that?
I would say I wasn't nervous at all. More excited it would be. I mean, I look forward to both doing the recordings and meeting Nickel. But nervous? No, I wouldn't say that.
Well, that's great. Robert, what do you hope to achieve by making this film? What's the overall message that you want people to have?
Well, on one level, my last film was called Food Inc., and I really wanted people to think about their food system. In this film, I thought I was taking a vacation from sending a message. It was, for me, it was looking into a brand new world, and making us just think about, as I say, how the world has changed. Not so much that I wasn't looking to reshape people's opinions, as just sort of give them a new glimpse and a new way of thinking about things.
And, I was going to also say a few years ago, online dating in any form was seen as risky or weird or even desperate. And in your experience with casting this film, how far from this original perception are we now? Are you seeing it's a lot more normalised, even though you said initially people were shocked when they saw this film?
Well, it's not so much about online dating. I think the Second Life section, more than anything, made people think about the world differently. But I think a character that's not in the film that we almost put in talks about how weird and scary, online dating used to be, and how at this point it's almost just a necessity. And my reaction to that is that, there are good things and bad things that come from online dating, and there are good things and bad things that come from dating, dating people you meet in church. And ultimately, I think that online dating is going to reflect the realities of any kind of dating situation, ultimately. But it also provides great opportunities for people in certain select groups that might have a hard time meeting people, and there are great opportunities that can come with this as well. So it's all very interesting. I mean, just reading about Cairo and Egypt in the news, people are saying it's all because of Twitter and Facebook. And on some levels, I think that's, an absolute added dimension. But I also think it comes about because people want their lives to change. And I think that's true with online dating as well.
Robert, had you heard of Second Life before this film?
Also, I want to point out. Sorry, I also wanted to point out that neither me or Nicole came to Second Life to date. That was just something that happened while we were there. She came to Second Life to construct,
Bara,
make
you can't
clothes,
give too much away here.
And I came to play music.
Bara, I was saying you can't give too much of the story.
Okay, give a little. You can give a little,
So my question was, Robert, what did you know about Second Life before you did this film?
Nothing.
What was your nothing? You had no impression of it at all?
I didn't know it existed, and then we got Bara's story.
Yeah.
And then it turned out that I had a friend who had made a film about Second Life that I was unaware that he had made, called it's Molotov Alva. Mm-hmm. And I saw the film and I thought it was just gorgeous and beautiful. And it just intrigued me. And then Bara's story totally intrigued me. And I loved talking to Bara. And we were lucky enough to go to his beautiful place in the south of Sweden, and we had a great few days there, and I thought, this is incredible. But then we got home and started filming in Second Life, and as I say, we got very addicted. We got sucked into this world in a way I never could have imagined.
Join the club.
Yeah, really.
So so having done all that, if somebody were to say to you, Robert, oh, Second Life, it's weird, it's full of horrible, creepy people that live in their mother's basement and never get out, what would your response be now?
I would say you have to go, look at this world. It's again, I think it's like any world. I think, there are lots of fascinating, beautiful people, separate of what kind of people are even there. It's a gorgeous world to go visit. And I would be I was all very curious about the people I was starting to meet in Second Life, though I was generally there as a director, interviewing and talking to my characters, but I was having a great and wonderful time visiting.
Who was it that you got involved in the Second Life machinima side of things, Robert?
Well, there was a man named Orhala who helped design things with Bara and I. That was wonderful. And Melissa, my producer, ended up filming so much of this, and she was fantastic. Someone working with us as an assistant editor named Wilson Schlamy became a wonderful cinematographer as well. That part was just an absolute treat. I've worked on a certain amount of animation in films. Food Inc., we did a lot of animation. But this was like having it happen at this very moment. And for me, I would chuckle because we'd see all our avatars hiding behind the wall because we'd have to turn them into cameras. And we were like in hysterics as we were doing this. But I was also just jaw-droppingly sort of impressed with the visuals of what was happening here.
I noticed on the copy that I had a look, there was a cute little outtake at the end of the film. Are you keeping that in? I hope you do.
You mean where we're talking, Bara and I are talking?
Shh, don't give it away. Don't give it away. Yes. But that little outtake, you going to keep that in?
Yes.
Oh, good, because the Second Life audience...
I was just about to say that.
Yes, because the Second Life audience will love that. Funny, I've got another question for both of you also, that there has been a little discussion before I did this interview about Second Life residents' concerns about this film. Unfortunately, for a lot of us in Second Life, a lot of the things that we see in the real life media about Second Life and that have been produced before tend to concentrate on the rather sordid side of Second Life. And I, after watching this film, was absolutely relieved, I suppose, and thrilled to see that this particular story about Second Life wasn't like that at all, even though it was about a relationship in Second Life. Did either of you have any concerns about that when you started filming, or had you heard about any of those things? Would you like to clear up any of that sort of perception about?
Well, I'll give a short answer, which is
I would like to do that. Yes.
You go,
Robert.
Bara.
Yeah. Oh, okay, Bara. Why don't you go first?
We had a discussion with that. Me and Robert. We had a discussion about this because we both thought it was very important not to focus on, the depths of a relationship, because in one way it's very much alike if you're in Second Life or you're outside Second Life. What's important that I thought was to show the possibilities that Second Life is to maintain a relation, even though you're separated by geographical miles. And I don't want to give anything away, but that is what I think is the beauty of Second Life, the possibilities to meet people, to interact with people, to construct things, to do things in real time together, to go listen to music, and to keep in contact.
Yep.
I had heard
certainly
nothing.
think that came out.
I had heard nothing about sort of people's concerns about that Second Life, about sort of sex, showing sex in Second Life. That was something I was totally unaware of when I started this, and Bara had pointed out that was something that people were sensitive to, and I think the minimal amount that we dealt with that in this film, we dealt with it like a 1930s Hitchcock story, where the screen, it's it's something that. It would be timid. It would be very sort of easygoing for a 1930s audience to watch what you're going to see in this piece. It's really about how people live and how we travel across distance. What Bara was saying is what makes the piece interesting. It has nothing to do with the sex.
No. Yeah. I think it was very beautifully presented, and I think the Second Life audience will be very pleasantly surprised by it. It's nice to have it shown that way, and of course the wonderful story about Bara and his music, and following him along with that as well.
It's funny, the reaction reminds me, like with Food Inc. before we came out in the United States, there were a number of farmers who said they didn't like my film so much they wouldn't watch it. And I always feel I can understand why people are sensitive. I've learned more about what was happening in Second Life, and I've learned more about other films that might have misrepresented it. But I really don't think. I think this is about much bigger ideas than that.
Okay, so the documentary is going to be shown on the 14th, and it's been scheduled to show a few more times after that, isn't it? So it's not just the 14th; it'll be re-shown on HBO. That's
correct, and I can give a site that will tell for those in the United States. It's hbo.com/documentary/when strangers click.
And HBO also have a YouTube channel, I notice, and you can get them on iTunes. So I'm hoping that it'll be available on iTunes as well. For us overseas,
we're hoping to sell it overseas as well. So that right now we're just rolling out to attempt to make many international sales. So hopefully that'll happen. But also, if you check Facebook.com when strangers click, you can find out information, and we will start to list when we have these international sales and when it will be playing.
Fantastic. Robert, have you got any tips for us, or rather, what are you going to be working on next? What's your next
Well, project? This was sort of a break for me from Food Inc., which was a very encompassing project, which became a a huge film over, well, here, and I guess we played Australia and numbers of places and around the world.
Yeah.
And we're now about to roll out a series of 1-minute videos, hopefully to help change the food system, that are going to be very exciting. And we're actually working with YouTube and a number of companies to help get these videos out there. And then at some point, I might be starting a sequel on that film as well.
Aha. Very interesting. And Bara, when does your album come out? I've noticed you've got 2 of your songs up on iTunes.
Yeah, that's right. I released a single for Hondo Mesa Records. It was June 2010. And we are doing the last touch-up on the mixes, so hopefully soon.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, both of you, for coming on the show. I know the documentary will go very, very well, and I know that a lot of people in Second Life can't wait to see it, and hopefully after seeing this interview, there'll be even more of them.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you so much.
It was a great pleasure.
Amazing.
Thank you, both of you, for joining us on Tonight Live. That's all we've got time for tonight on Tonight Live. Thank you, everyone, for being with us. Thank you to the crew from Perfect World Productions and Treat TV. Come and visit the studio here in Second Life at Sailors Cove anytime, and you can watch our latest show on our studio screen and pick up your free Treat TV package for watching at home. Subscribe to us on iTunes, or you can watch us on Treat TV. For more information on our guests and all our other shows, please visit tonightlive.paisleybeebe.com. If you want to stay up to date with the show, join the Tonight Live with Paisley Beebe group in Second Life. I look forward to bringing you Tonight Live in 2 weeks' time on the 20th of February. Good night, everybody, and stay safe.
You